Now I prescribe between 30 seconds to a minute for this exercise. So I just push it to the point where I start to feel some difficulty, but I still obviously am just warming up. It's good though. It's kind of scary because if I fail, I'm going to get owned. So on that last one, I broke form because I think I was going to fail.
The last one was really hard to spot as well.
I really like this exercise. It's I feel like I hit the full straddle planche on the rings, and I'm getting a little bit of spot, but it's just satisfying to feel the position.
I'm really not spotting that much, so he doesn't need that much for this exercise, which is promising.
I've been doing these straddle negatives as prescribed by Niall. However, I just don't feel quite strong enough. I'm going pretty quickly through the bottom of it, and I feel like I'd benefit more from doing an easier progression and with more control.
I've seen you do some great negatives though.
Oh really?
Remember gymnastics conditioning?
Oh, okay, that's nice. Tyson said they've been looking strong. Today, not so much. I do still want to feel control. I just sort of feel like I was losing control today, so I'm going to make it a little bit easier for myself, just so I can control the movement. I actually just decided to obviously do a straddle negative. There you go, as an example of how it helps to have your training partner compliment you and motivate you to push yourself a little harder. So thanks, Tyson. I'm just thinking about leaning, and it's actually getting better every set, so that's very satisfying. That just shows the benefit of doing 5 sets for this one. For each set you get to learn, and you get stronger, and throughout the weeks, it's going to get even better. My wrists are killing me though. The more I lean, the more pain it puts on them, but that was that as well.
That was a really good one.
We're not doing the elastic today, choosing the machine instead, mainly because this machine is perfectly set up for this exercise. And with the tubing, it's a little bit fiddly, and we just felt like doing this today, honestly, so don't hate. But yeah, it's pretty much the same exercise, and when we've got access to this kind of equipment, why wouldn't you use it? It's getting quite easy, this one. Feel a nice stretch in my shoulders. I normally do this now with my ankle weights with 10 kilograms, so I'm used to a slightly heavier weight, and in the trunk strength we do those 3-second pauses, so it's a bit more challenging.
Feels like I'm in an RPG and he's my character. I'm going along.
I was actually better. Tyson was giving me some cues along the way, like staying strong through my arms. So I just tried to start, even if it felt like I was going to fall over, just push, open my shoulders and push back. And then I actually didn't fall over, and I was kind of going to an uncomfortable rear support, which is great because it started to become more comfortable. That's just going to help with my strength in, I'd say even like the V-sit and the minor sort of area. It's obviously important as well to do this to do the other side of your body. We're doing a lot of pressing and all that, so this is more to offset that, to work that back strength as well. This one's feeling quite good. I almost feel like I could start to try and do that press out of it now. Perhaps in the next few sessions, that'll be a nice little gain in that area.
You got to see it first.
Getting stronger. Yeah, Tyson's giving me some good prompts. He said in the past I've been curling over a bit, sort of like this. Right now, my main focus is to try to be completely vertical with my body. Not too open and not too closed. Finishing off this workout with the weighted knee lift, 8 kilos. It's very similar to the one we did earlier in this workout. So this one we're doing a 3-second pause at the top of each rep. And having just done the trunk strength, it feels so much harder. It's crazy actually. The weight feels like it's twice as heavy. So that's a good indication of how much the trunk strength takes out of us. Yet another fantastic session at Lift. I really enjoy training here. They've got everything we need. They've got the weights, they've got the rings. So you can do body weight, you can do weights. It's just nice. Everything's right here for us. So if you guys are in the Sydney area, definitely check it out. It's in Redfern, so it's very central and you're going to have a lot of fun here, I'm sure. Good workout today. I definitely found the planche section was better. I enjoyed it more. When I first did it last week, I didn't feel great about it. I think because it was all a bit new and I was just sort of getting used to it. I wasn't really satisfied with my performance. Today, definitely. Especially with those trail planche negatives, I was really happy with that.
I was gonna say that.
I got to go to gymnastics training right now, and then tomorrow I've got the sauna, which is always a bit of fun. I'm also doing an ice bath tonight after gymnastics, and then Friday is the day off, and then straight into Saturday's session at Sydney Park.
Which we'll see you at now.
Get 5 today. 5 is going to be the norm from now on. Not much to say, I just failed that. I make up for it by getting 5 strong bent arm presses. toes hit the floor a few times. So I guess that's just being a bit not 100% focused. Yeah, should be more aware of where my body is so it doesn't hit the floor like that. Very rewarding to be getting stronger in this one. A more basic progression of the pike press would be the straddle press. Straddling your legs just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to have as much compression. Easier step than that, which I started with, is the tuck press. It's a bit more like a planche press though, so you can try it and see how you feel with it. And if they're too hard, then I'd suggest using a wall and doing negatives and then also pressing back up if you can. Niall's written 5, but that seems like too much. So I'm gonna at least go for 3, and if I'm feeling strong at 3, I'll go for 5. But I definitely want to do 3 good reps. Planche press, basic progression here would be obviously not worrying about pressing out and instead a hold. So I'd suggest a tuck planche hold. If you can't get in the planche, just lean and press as high as you can until you can hit the position with your hips and your shoulders being level, and then just progress through the body shape. So tuck, straight back, like advanced tuck, straddle, straight to knee, full planche. Also, negatives are good, so not worrying about pressing up, but just doing the negative. Yeah, you've seen there's so many ways you can train planche, so incorporate what you can do, essentially. I'm gonna try this again. I looked at that footage, I really didn't like the arch in that back. I'm really just trying to round out, sort of hunch over during this. Again, until I look at the replay, I don't know if I'm doing it as well as I want to be. And it just shows you that I don't have like a solid understanding of straddle planche yet, because if I did, I'd be able to swing into it from any position and just boom, lock it out. So I like that this is teaching me how to explosively hit the position with good technique. Man, this one's hard. I'd love to be hitting the nice straddle planche position and a minor position. I know that I'm falling short on both sides. It's gonna get better each time I do it, so I'll just keep working toward the perfect shapes. Oh, damn, that was good. I actually went too far forward. Oh my gosh. My wrists kill after them, right there. That was awesome though. I actually leant so far forward that I collapsed, which is brilliant. It means I guess I should just put my legs together and just held a full planche. I think I'm gonna go again in a minute and see if I can do a solid hold, because I feel like I can. Yeah, that felt really good. I just lowered in, kept trying to lean forward. When I felt like I was in the planche, I just tried to keep leaning forward to just hold it there. I really still feel it in my wrists, just because that extreme angle is pretty intense on the joints. It's still getting used to it because I haven't leant that far that often, so it's still quite new to me. Back again to the cross presses, maximum number. I'm setting myself the goal of getting 8 because that's what Niall originally told us to do, so I'd love to get that. What do you reckon, Leighton?
Yeah.
6 is my best so far. 7. Leighton is going with 7. Darn it. On the money, Leighton. Very impressive, mate. He knows me better than myself. I want to get 8 actually, as you can probably tell. Very happy with that. I want to hug Leighton. Yes! Basics. I didn't forget. If you have cross trainers, start with cross hold. And if you can't hold cross, even with trainers, just hold it at 45 degrees. Hold it as low as you can, but still maintaining that locked arm. That's the most important part of cross, is keeping your arms locked and trying to keep your shoulders down. Don't let them come up. You gotta use your shoulders to keep pushing them down. If you don't have cross trainers, just do ring support holds. You can obviously let the rings come out wider and wider as well. It's just much harder. I'll keep it simple at that. There's obviously a lot of exercises you can do for cross, but those 2 are really great starters for the cross press. This one's very hard. I'll just be going as hard as I can until Tyson says my form is not good. And recently that's just been 1 rep. Oh, damn it. Man, it's hard. On this exercise, I feel an impressive pressure in my left shoulder. Not in my right for some reason, but my shoulders are both a little bit different. They've got their own personalities. This one had tendonitis, this one didn't. Although this one's a bit more uncomfortable during dislocate. I think it's just a bit tighter. And they're crazy when they get together. I'm finally holding the position myself, using a cross trainer in a tuck position, but I'm holding it, which is the first step. Now I'll obviously, just as I get stronger, extend the shape out, reduce the spot in the trainers, and I'm on my way to doing it on the rings, which is very exciting. I just watched the replay and my shoulders were above my hands, so I'm not happy with that. I want them to be dead on level, like a perfect Maltese. So I'm doing a second set, and I'm having Tyson be really strict on the level, so that he'll say yes when I'm perfectly level. Lower. Oh, dang. That's so hard. I'm just gonna, again, analyze the replay, see for myself where I'm at, and it's a really useful way to help train yourself. You can watch exactly where you're at and learn how much further you need to go to get that perfect position. Man, this feels so hard. It's good though, I like the feeling. It's just nice to feel the movement, even though you're jumping and using your feet. I feel incredible amounts of tension through my body, and since it's on the rings, I get an idea of how much pressure I'll need to be putting on to do it myself. going to keep it simple. For the weight session, you can do exactly what I'm doing, regardless of what level you're at. Just obviously choose a weight that's appropriate for your level. What's the most important thing is to have good technique, correct form. So you never want to put the weight so heavy that it makes you break form, bend your arms or something like that. The beauty of weights is you can put it to exactly how heavy you can handle. That should be the point where you're not failing, but you're putting in some effort to get this set through. When you're starting out, start on the lighter side of things. As you get more comfortable and used to those exercises, you can start to increase the weight to actually challenge yourself. That applies to all the exercises in this weight session. That's so hard. Definitely, I want to stay on this weight for probably at least another week, even if it feels easier in the coming sessions, just because it's a big step up and I feel tremendous pressure in this area. Again, in a good way, it's a nice feeling, it's not painful. But if I push it too much, it could become tendinitis. You'll notice we've shuffled the order of this weight session around a little bit. Ideally, I would like to stick to the order that Niall prescribed, starting with bench and then bicep curls and that. I think there's a reason why it's in that order, and for example, the bicep curls pumps up your biceps so much that it sort of protects it when you're doing those straight arm things like the cable cross press and the Maltese and so on. However, seeing as we need to leave this weights room in about 10 minutes, we did the essentials that we can't do back in my apartment, which is the cable machine. We also thought we might as well do the seated row while we're here, even though I can do that the row with the dumbbell, and then we'll get the rest of this session done in my apartment.
Come on, man. Go! Nice. 1, 2, come on, smash it. Get it up, get it up. Come on, come on, come on! No! 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 So annoying.
Disappointing. I was hoping to increase the weight, not go down today, but yeah, it's still a good pump. I feel a good pump. I just hate failing. I always want to get those reps myself.
That'll happen though when you train so often. You'll have good days and bad days on the same session each week.
So it's just 16 kilos, tiny bit lighter than my usual 17.5 kilos, but it's still a good challenge because 17.5 is like my absolute limit. On the last rep, I am really fighting for it. My form is probably not quite perfect, so it's kind of a nice opportunity here to go to 16 kilos and really just smash out the set with good form, and still challenging but maintaining that form. Really like this exercise. It's so different to anything we're doing. It's such a disadvantaged movement, but it's feeling stronger each week. And again, it was initially feeling vulnerable, but now it's starting to feel satisfying. So it's just nice to feel my shoulders becoming more solid and more versatile. They can move in different directions, different ways without feeling any vulnerability at all. I just realised this might be the last session in this apartment. I'm moving out in 6 days. It's quite sad, really. So many great memories here. So many, actually, yeah. I might have been saying that as a joke, there were so many fun things we did, gonna suck. Been here for like 2 years. We're now moving on to trunk work capacity and starting with the double leg rollers and windscreen wipers, of course. Just get to the height. We're gonna just go through the alternations. 30. Oh, that's pretty hard. That's really annoying, my foot was slipping. Yeah, it was much better not slipping. I felt like I could extend a lot more. This one's definitely getting better. I can see my body shape is more pronounced, which is really encouraging because the dish is such a fundamental shape in gymnastics. It applies to so many skills. Getting a stronger dish is going to help you in so many areas. For example, handstand, planche, high bar swings, so many places.